Up to 40% of the planet's land is degraded, causing trillions of dollars in economic losses and affecting billions of lives. Forest Landscape Restoration, or FLR, offers communities a path forward. But restoration fails when it ignores gender. Women are on the front lines of forest restoration and non-timber forest product management. Yet, they are routinely denied land rights and excluded from decisions. A gender-forward approach ensures every voice shapes the work and that its benefits are shared fairly. The following gender-forward FLR incubation and acceleration protocol was developed by the IUCN in collaboration with the International Model Forest Network and its members. While it draws on experiences from model forests, it can be used in any community-managed forest. Community-managed forests face a range of challenges, from gender imbalances to resource constraints. And while many restoration tools exist, they are often fragmented, making implementation difficult. This protocol is designed to simultaneously tackle these challenges and guide stakeholders on how to apply IUCN tools holistically across every stage of a FLR project. You can use this protocol at any stage of a restoration project. Whether you're just setting up governance or already monitoring results, the guidance is relevant. The protocol also explains when and how to use specific IUCN conservation and restoration tools and outlines their benefits and limitations. Finally, the lessons learned in the protocol are meant to be replicable. Model forests in the IMFN's network are testing these strategies first, but any community-managed forest can apply them. Start by setting up decision-making that includes everyone, especially women and marginalized groups. First, formalize gender parity. Make sure women have equal representation in all forest management bodies. Secondly, remove barriers. Hold meetings at accessible times and places. Provide childcare and use accessible language and terms. Third, leverage existing resources to support your governance structure. IUCN's toolkit for this phase includes Ecolex, which tracks legal rights across jurisdictions to help communities understand their protections and entitlements, and the IUCN Community Organizing Toolkit, which offers practical guidance on bringing diverse groups meaningfully together. Lastly, identify power dynamics. Understand who currently makes decisions, who benefits, and who is excluded. Then plan how to address those gaps. Next, it's time to assess the landscape and plan restoration activities that truly match local needs. Start with participatory assessments, bringing together local communities and stakeholders to understand the landscape's condition. This is where ROAM, the Restoration Opportunities Assessment methodology, becomes particularly valuable. It helps practitioners map degradation, identify root causes, and pinpoint where restoration efforts will have the greatest impact. Then, establish gender-responsive objectives with clear goals for women's participation, resource access, and livelihoods built into every step of the plan. Don't forget biodiversity priorities. Use the red list of ecosystems and key biodiversity areas to focus efforts where they are most needed. Finally, assess threats to species and ecosystems. The STAR metric, rooted in the IUCN Red List of threatened species, quantifies how specific restoration actions can reduce the risk of species extinction in a given landscape, giving practitioners a clear evidence base for prioritization. Now, it's time to turn plans into action. Start by executing management plans. Prepare the sites, plant trees, and carry out regeneration activities based on evidence and community input. Next, ensure equal participation. Make sure men and women have equal access to training, jobs, and restoration activities. When everyone participates, the community takes ownership, benefits are shared, and the results last longer. Finally, strengthen local capacity. Use this phase to build technical skills and reinforce the governance structures set up earlier. A strong, capable local team is essential for long-term success. Once restoration is underway, it's essential to track progress and adapt as needed. Begin by measuring results against the goals set during planning. Ask yourself, are the restoration activities delivering the intended benefits for the landscape and the community? Next, collect disaggregated data. Record outcomes separately for men and women to see how different groups are benefiting. This helps ensure that gender-responsive objectives are being met. Finally, report to stakeholders. The Restoration Barometer is the recognized global framework for tracking progress toward national and global restoration targets. Use it to share results transparently, build accountability, and strengthen trust across the community. When results are achieved, it's time to celebrate successes and share lessons. Start by seeking formal certification. Apply for the IUCN Green List or UNESCO recognition to validate high management standards and attract international support. Next, share best practices. Upload local success stories to platforms like Panorama Solutions for a Healthy Planet to connect with other practitioners and promote peer-to-peer learning. And don't forget to highlight diverse leadership. Make sure the contributions of women, youth, and Indigenous peoples are visible in all communications. Recognizing diverse voices inspires others and shows that inclusive restoration works. Gender equity is central to the IMFN's broader commitments. By prioritizing it across all projects, the IMFN pilots inclusive, collaborative strategies that strengthen forest management and generate gains across social, environmental, and economic sectors. Applying the lessons in this video can help users improve restoration outcomes, empower women and girls in their communities to take leadership roles, and ensure forests are managed sustainably and are producing lasting benefits for both people and nature.